Okay, in this video we are going to talk about highest common factor, also known as HCF. So the highest common factor is very useful for questions that involve simplifying fractions, which we'll look at later on, and it's also involved in a lot of worded questions, which we will look at a few examples as well. So highest common factors, or HCF. So the key word in here is looking at factors. Now factors fit, that's what you need to remember. Factors are the ones that fit into numbers. And that's probably one way that can help us remember it. Alright, so if I'm looking at the factors, let's say the factors of 12. All the numbers that fit into 12 or multiply to make 12. So think of them that they need to have a partner. So for example, you've got 1 times 12. They both make 12, and they're partners that multiply to make 12. What other partners do we have? We have 3 times 4. We've got 2 times 6. So once you've got them in partners, it may be easier to write the numbers in ascending order, so from lowest to highest. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. So looking at your factors of 12, they are in ascending order, they all have partners, and they are all the numbers that fit into 12 without any remainders. So if we're looking at another number, so we can compare with highest common factor, if we're looking at the number 15, we've got 1 times 15, and we have 3 times 5. So putting them in ascending order, we've got 1, 3, 5 and 15. Alright, so if I would like the highest common factor of 12 and 15, so now we're looking at both sets of numbers. So highest common factor of 12 and 15. So if I go back to my list so that's my list for 15, and my list for 12 is right here. So looking at both of those numbers, I want the number that is the highest, but it needs to be common in both of those lists. So here I have 1, 3, 5 and 15. So let's see which of those numbers appear in the list over here. So 1 is there, 3 is there, no 5 and no 15. So out of the 2 that I have ticked, the highest one is 3. So the highest common factor of 12 and 15 would be 3. Let's do another one. Okay, say if we are looking at the highest common factor of, let's go with 24 and 18. So try it by yourself first, try and list the factors and then check if you've got it correct. Alright, so now let's check. 24, you've got 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, and 4 times 6. So it's important to not miss any factors because that essentially could be your highest common factor. So just studying your times tables would really help you in this. Okay, if we're looking at 18, the numbers that multiply to make 18, 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. So again, you can choose to write both the list in numerical or ascending order. It's completely up to you. It might be easier to find the highest common factor, but just for now, looking at these lists here, let's look at the ones that are common. So 1 and 1 appear in both. We have 2 and 2. We've got 3, 3. We also have 6 and 6, and that's it. So looking at that, out of all the ones that I've circled, the number that is highest, and it is common to both of those sets, would be 6. So that is my highest common factor.